Hello everybody, this video is on healthy screen time for your children and for yourself. I am Elsa Lumia. I am a psychologist from Neurospace, and in this video we will be exploring the different ways in which you can ensure that your child is having productive outcomes out of their technology usage. So without further ado, let us begin. So screen time is the total time that your child or you will spend in a day by viewing screens of different kinds. So these could be your mobile phones, television, computers, laptops, tablets, any handheld or visual device. And the activities for your children will include attending classes, playing video games, watching videos, listening to music, and so on. So media has both pros and cons, and just like everything else, moderation is key. Now, healthy screen time. These are the purposes for which your child is going to use devices to enhance and advance their learning, their psychosocial life, their mental health, their physical health, and these are activities including schoolwork, interacting with friends and family, creating or producing music, art, and other creative endeavors. Productive relaxation, that is relaxation which involves an element of learning, an element of health promoting activities, this all would be considered as healthy screen time. So it will involve a component of self-development, and for screen time to be healthy, it is important for you as a parent to be involved in what devices as well as the content that your child is viewing through these devices. I would strongly recommend the use of laptops and computers and the provision of the same for your children rather than giving them a mobile phone. Although mobile phones are extremely convenient, it could also be more distracting and more dependence causing and more addiction causing device as compared to laptops and computers. Laptops and computers also serve a wide range of other benefits that phones will not provide, especially in the educational realm. So my personal advice to you would be to go in for a laptop or a computer for your child rather than a cell phone. Here is a list of very useful internet or online resources for your children. I would strongly urge you to take a screenshot of this slide right here. In this you will find a vast variety of information which will help your child to build their knowledge and create strong foundations in the complex subjects that they will be learning throughout their educational journey. So for children that are below 3 years, it is not recommended to provide them screen time. For young children above 3 and below 10, the recommended sites are FunBrain and ABC Mouse. For older children, these excellent resources like National Geographic Kids, you have Shaun the Sheep Game Academy, Oxford Owl, Discovery Mind Blown, NASA Kids Club, and Young Oceans Explorers. Each of these have their own advantages. Some are very, very specific, like the Young Ocean Explorers, you will find information on marine biology, whereas NASA Kids Club on astrophysics and space science, whereas National Geographic, Oxford Owl, Discovery, Shaun the Sheep, these will all include a combination of various complex subjects that your child will benefit from learning. Now, we have seen what healthy screen time looks like. Unhealthy screen time, on the other hand, will involve excessive recreational use. It would be addictive, unproductive, or at times even destructive. Some examples include watching inappropriate shows, adult content, distorted content, visiting unsafe websites, which will lead to not only intellectual deficits or challenges, but also technical risks to your device. Playing violent video games, as well as video games that are not productive, which are going to cause sensory stress or other time consumption that will not involve productive work. So using screens or using devices as a means to fall asleep or right before sleeping is an absolute no-no. Try to avoid this at all times, reduce slowly and eliminate the use of devices before sleep. Make your child's bedroom as well as your own bedroom a screen-free zone. Now we move on to recreational use. Now this is the use of technology for enjoyment, for leisure, and will not include those times where it is used for educational or personal and career development. This kind of recreational use must be limited to less than 2 hours per day. It's important to model and to suggest healthy alternatives to your child. It is not only important for you to just explain to your child why they should not use devices excessively, but it is also important to lead by example. So the whole family is involved in setting out the habits of technology usage. So healthy role modeling is essential. Night curfew can be seen as a very simple technique in which parents, the rest of the family members, younger and older kids, if you all can come together as a family and make this decision to stop using devices at a particular time and follow through this change, it would help your child to also follow in your footsteps. So a suggestion would be to keep a box somewhere in the common room, like a sitting room or dining room, and by a particular time in the night, all individuals of the family must keep their phones in that box and go to sleep. So this is a simple technique, and each one of you could come up with something unique that works for all your family members. So adapting adequately to technology is very important for young and old. Healthy screen time involves using technology for beneficial or productive reasons and eliminating or reducing the times where it is used for unproductive or maladaptive reasons. So moderation again is key, and complete resistance to technology on the other extreme would mean it would pose some danger to your child or your family members and not help them to adequately adjust to the changing world today, which is heavily dependent on technology. And on the other extreme, you have excessive usage. So each one of us must balance these two extremes and use it moderately for healthy purposes and less so for recreational purposes, and even less so, or completely none for unhealthy purposes. It's very important to educate yourself on cyber hygiene, how one can ensure that their browser is having all sorts of protection, their device is protected, as well as for children under the age of 18, parental controls becomes a very, very crucial aspect and measure what a parent can take in order to prevent unnecessary or unintended risks for your children. Falling victim to false advertising and marketing, frauds, and internet malware, all of this would result in lack of cyber hygiene, which is a very, very crucial point. A few tips would be clearing browser history, going into the cookies settings of your browser and disabling third-party cookies. You can find a lot of content on the internet to ensure cyber hygiene. Families must learn to think critically about media and to discern authenticity of sources. Parents must learn this and teach their children. There is so much news out there, and sometimes identifying real news and fake news becomes difficult. So, going that extra step to validate the source from which that information or that image that you are seeing is coming from is very important. Screen ergonomics, here are a few things that I will go through. Firstly, important to keep the screen at eye line, both phones as well as computers. Sit tilted away from the screen and with the back straight. The light should be behind the user, not directly towards the eyes of the user, and the screen should not be too close to the eyes. Here is a picture illustrating the previous points. It is important to maybe keep your feet at 90 degrees, to relax your shoulders, and to mainly to keep the screen at eye level. And even more so for mobile phones, it is important to sit upright rather than bending forward or downwards to view your screen. So this practice of keeping one arm below the elbow of the other while viewing your phone is extremely simple and useful and effective in viewing the mobile phone appropriately. While using any sorts of devices, one has to periodically look up into the distance several times in an hour so as to let your eyes relax from the strain it would have from focusing its lens towards the screen. So defocusing your lenses will, that is your eyes natural lenses, will effectively help to not bring about visual issues in the child. In the last 10 years, the use of specs in children has doubled, and technology is considered as one of the key factors to why this could be happening. Blink eyes regularly to keep them moist, prevent rubbing of eyes. Important to auto adjust screen brightness so that in dark settings your screen brightness would not be too high. You can turn on the night mode or night shift, which will allow which will automatically turn the screen yellow with yellow light rather than blue light, which is harmful for the eyes. Blue light will be beneficial for viewing during the day and yellow for viewing during the night. So most phones will have that automatic option for changing between night and day shifts. And to make these changes, you start with small steps. Repetition and practice will equal to habit. Here are some of the effects of excessive screen time on health. We have discussed the aspects of healthy screen time. We've discussed which are the educational resources which your child can use. We've discussed how to use technology and how to maneuver your eyes, your body, the distance from screens, as well as the other tips and tricks. Now let us examine how excessive screen time, how it will affect one's health, so you feel more motivated to follow through the changes that we've discussed earlier. Health, as defined by the World Health Organization, is a state of complete well-being of physical, mental and social health, and not merely the absence of disease. Here are some of the ways in which too much screen time will affect your child. There may be social interaction that will be decreased, engagement with family and peers will be decreased, individuals may suffer from social anxiety, from body image issues due to social comparison, and so on. Language delays are seen commonly in children, and fewer vocalizations, less babbling from infants, all these, as well as significant reductions in expressive as well as receptive language in preschool children is seen, and this could be due to the excessive dependence on autocorrect for spelling, for excessive dependence on typing rather than writing, reading or copy pasting rather than creating own work, and so on. Also, due to the reduced social interaction, language delays could also be one of the factors that would result. Physical health, they would see issues in obesity, issues with diabetes, with other issues that we will discuss in the later slides. You have advertising concerns where children may be exposed to increased snacking and resulting in issues with their physical health, poor sleep quality, as well as quantity of sleep may be decreased, the behavior at home and school, sleeping in school, all of this could result due to excessive, too much screen time. There will be life skills that would be damaged as a result of excessive screen time, whereas where the individual may be unable to do simple activities that otherwise would have been done if not or instead of excessive screen time, like playing, using practical knowledge or practical applications, hands-on learning, and doing other activities outdoors which will involve other individuals and direct contact and interaction. In physical health, you have musculoskeletal as well as behavioral effects like sedentary lifestyle, where the children or the adults would be more seated than moving about. You have effects on the nervous system, which will include effects on the spine, the eyes and vision, headaches, disturbed sleep, pain, and other mental health challenges. Mental health would be affected due to changes in anxiety, mood issues, thought disturbances, sleep disorders, dependence, poor memory and concentration due to the excessive dependence on technology for simple mathematical or simple mental operations like remembering lists, performing small calculations, all of which due to the availability and dependence on the device, the child or the adult may use the device rather than their own minds to solve these simple problems. Hyperactivity, aggression, violence, cyberbullying, media and porn, masturbation, addiction, and using devices as a coping method. Feeling low, feeling bored, feeling sad, watch something, do something, get distracted, pass some time. This could be have detrimental effects on mental health. More importantly, distorted perceptions due to not monitoring what a child is watching, or viewing adult content in an innocent or fresh mind could lead to distortions in how one perceives the ideas or attitudes that they have towards drug use, towards their goals, towards emotional expressions, body image, sexuality, and so on. Social health, as we've discussed a while ago, would be affected due to excessive screen time. So reduced socialization, social comparison, anxiety due to increased time spent on screens and not enough spent with interacting with others. Children would call this FOMO, fear of missing out, fear of being left out. Your teenage children may use these words to describe how they may feel by viewing social media and comparing their lives with those of others. Scholastic effects would include obviously decreased academic performance and excessive dependence on technology for mental operations. So here we come to the end of this video. I hope it was useful for you. And just to summarize, for future research, it's important to understand the principles of cyber hygiene, install parental controls on the devices that your children are using, set limits, boundaries for your child, suggest alternate activities, model healthy behavior, set a night curfew, make sure that the ergonomics, that is how you are using the screens, is effective rather than something that's going to cause you health problems like neck and back strain, eye strain, and so on. And ensure that you are a good role model to your child so that your child can be successful, can use technology to excel in life, and to be healthy and happy always. Thank you for your time and attention. I look forward to having any questions that you may have. You can contact me via the email of Neurospace, which you will find in Google. If you like this video, please leave a review on Google for Neurospace. It would really mean a lot. Thank you so much. I wish you a great day, and I wish you all the best in implementing these changes, these techniques into your daily life. Thank you very much. Bye bye.